think today is, actually I know today is, maybe I don't know, it's day 24, Saturday. We're going to head down to Erwin. It's supposed to rain most of the day tomorrow, so we're thinking about doing a 0 tomorrow, maybe staying at a hostel tonight, and then hosteling tomorrow night as well. The climb out of Erwin, in total, like it makes you climb all the way to the top, over 7 miles it's like 3,400 feet, I think, something like that. 3,500 feet out of Erwin, over 7 miles. There's a couple dips in there. The initial climb is 20 some odd hundred, but I guess in short, it's just a lot of climbing. I want to kind of show this area that we're walking through right now. You know, the trail's beautiful and it's great cruising all the ridges. But this morning Nibbles was saying to me, how much bottomland do we get to walk through? Like, are we ever going to get, or is this all just about climbing to the top of mountains? Well, I guess we've kind of shown a couple different places where we walked through some bottomland. I think day 1 or day 2 in Georgia, there was a cool little bottom section. In the last couple days, we went through a rainstorm, which I did not capture any of that, but it was certainly amazing. I didn't capture it because the rain was just really intense, but we took some really cool photos of not of so much of the trail, but of this super red, bright orange salamander. It was beautiful, and some other salamanders too. It's kind of like one of those days where you just saw, man, we must have seen 50 or 60 salamanders just sitting on the trail, hanging out. Anyway, yeah, we're going to hike 17 miles today. I can't remember the name of the shelter we stayed at last night. I'll look that up, or we'll put it in the notes. But it was definitely, man, it said on Gut Hook that it was going to be messy and a lot of trash. And yeah, that place was definitely kind of filthy. And it's a 2-story shelter, so that means that there's like an upper deck and a lower deck for sleeping. And you really couldn't get on the upper deck. It was just a little too high, and there was no ladder to get up there. Luckily, only 3 of us ended up staying in the shelter. And the other thing too is it had these like really like kind of annoying like dividers on the shelter platform, so it was only allowing you to have like 8 people on each level. I think was it even 8? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it was 6 per level, which is, and it gave you a ton of space. When in reality, you probably could have fit 7 or 8 people in really bad weather. So that's where we stayed last night. There were a couple section hikers that camped out. Definitely rained hard for about, from what I hear, for about an hour. My earplugs do work wonders, so I didn't hear any rain. I just got up in the middle of the night, and when I got up, I went out to take a leak at like 12:30 in the morning, which doesn't seem like it's very late, but yeah, it had already rained, and it was like a dense fog. So anyway, this is what day 24 looks like. We're also looking at, we're going to zero again we're going to Nero and zero again in a couple days. When we come off the Rhone, we're going to stop up at Carver's Gap and hitch a ride into town and stay in town down there just for the heck of it, and then turn around and get back on trail. So, you know, if we kind of don't want to zero that much, but I don't know. We'll play it tonight by ear and see how we feel about tomorrow. Personally, I can go either way. I don't mind zeroing, taking a little bit more time. Taking a little bit more time to relax and rebuild. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I stepped on a rock back there, and I've done it before. and my left foot just went on a slide. So luckily I'm in good condition. Spring has sprung. It's a cool little piece of forest back here as we head on into Erwin today. Getting a little color out of the last couple days' warmth and rain. It hasn't really rained a lot. It's been humid. It's humid today, but yeah, the trees are all budding out right now. It's crazy too because they bud out in all kinds of colors. Like over here, I'm not sure if you can see that, but this I don't know what kind of tree that is, but it's got like red buds. There's some oranges, some greens, some bright green, some yellows. It's awesome. It's just a pretty day. One of my favorite parts, as I've said many times, of the year is the spring and watching things bud and and listening for the birds. All these new birds start showing up. They start their migration, their annual migrations. So it's cool. Last climb of the day. Well, last big climb. And this wasn't even a big climb. This was like a medium climb. I think it's like 400 feet over, feels like a mile and a quarter maybe. And then from here, we're just gonna go downhill for, I think, about 3 miles into Erwin, Tennessee. And spelled E-R-W-I-N. We were kind of not planning on going there, but timing has allowed us to slow down a day or two. We've got some business we got to take care of. I got to go to Asheville for like a doctor's appointment kind of thing. So, and that's on like Friday. So, that's later on in the week. And then, maybe I have to get a new cell phone. My cell phone's been having like a software, it might be a hardware issue. I've done a few things to it and it keeps coming back. So I got to do that. So that's kind of what's going on later in the week. So I don't have to move as fast as we'd normally be going. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain. We're going to look at the weather a little bit better because we might just Nero tonight. Stay here, shower, do a little laundry, eat a little food, and then jump onto the trail tomorrow morning. But there's really no rush. And after we do our adult chores for a day or 2 days or whatever later in the week, then we'll just start at the top of I think it's Carver's Gap right after the Roan, and dive down into the Roan, or dive down and then cruise into Damascus, and then we're in Virginia. So we're not there yet. And this is still an attempted through hike, but we're doing really well, and it looks like we are at least going to make it to Damascus and a few more points north. So I'm feeling good. My wife, she's doing all right. She's feeling pretty good. She said she's a little tired today, and why wouldn't she be? But yeah, we'll see about maybe doing a 0 tomorrow. It's beautiful right now. There's like a perfect like cool breeze coming across this way from way out there, kind of the north. This is kind of like pointing northwest, I think, right now. So it's coming out of the northwest, and it's like, like a calm wind, like a 3 to 4 mile per hour wind. It's really nice. It always feels good to just like suck like a huge volume of cold air into my lungs and then just breathe it out. You breathe out hot air, you can feel it all over when you breathe it out. Kind of a nice little gap style camping spot. If you ever hear me talking about a gap, I mean, this is kind of what a gap is. This is kind of like a high gap. You know, you got a big hill over here. I don't even know. There's a hill over there a little bit. It's kind of, the gap is kind of more where a saddle is, but since this transitions, you know, you can see it kind of goes downhill over yonder and comes uphill right here across this little plain. This could be considered something like a gap. The downside of gap camping is when there are high winds, like at this particular position. You know, right now we're looking due west, I guess. So if there's a wind coming out of the west, you're getting hit. If there's a wind coming out of the northwest, you're definitely getting hit. And here, there's a wind coming out of the kind of the northeast or the east, you might be okay. And because of those big mountains, those big dark blue mountains out over there, you could be okay with just a northeast breeze. It could cut 10 miles per hour out of the total wind package for the evening. Well, we're almost in. Looks like we're splitting a room with our good buddy Smash at the Super 8. Maybe we'll go into town, have a couple buffalo chicken salads this evening, or some delicious chicken wings. That would be really nice. And we'll see what the weather looks like for tomorrow. It's been a good day. I have thoroughly enjoyed this hike because it has been less than challenging today. So just to kind of wrap up this like little short stint between towns, we came out of Hot Springs. We stayed 3 nights. We camped out one night with Bunny, and then we stayed in the shelter 2 nights. Or stayed in 2 different shelters 2 nights. And I think our big day was like 19 miles, which was yesterday. The day before that was like 17, and then today I think is like 14 or something. There might be another 17-mile day tied in there somewhere. Anyhow, it's always good to go into town and take showers and wash some clothes and let your feet kind of just sit up and get some air. So we're looking forward to that. It's been beautiful out too. The leaves are coming in, and yeah, we're just really looking forward to continuing on the trek. So, like I said before, on to Damascus, and then all points north, hopefully. Anyhow, we'll catch up later. It's a beautiful little town, isn't it? We're going to be coming down there across the river. That's the Nolichucky. And then we're staying right, there's a little downtown section we're staying in. Man, it's awesome. I've never been, I think I've driven through Erwin, but I had no idea it was this pretty. So we're looking forward to, it's always awesome staying in a cool little town.